Hello and thanks for joining us on Camera Combat High School Edition. I'm your hostess, Emily Larson. Camera Combat brings high schoolers together to showcase their video production skills and compete for the best work among their peers. Today, students from Big Spring High School join us. About a month ago, we challenged the class to create a 30-second PSA on the dangers of concussions. So we're going to show their work and have it critiqued to find a winner for Camera Combat High School Edition. We've enlisted a group of knowledgeable judges to help us choose a winner. First, we welcome Chris Eckstein. Chris is the SUTV sports director who has a background in video production and editing. Thanks for being here, Chris. Let's give him a round of applause. Next, we have Wes Malacone, who's the director of sports medicine here at SHIP. He helps out any of our athletes who get hurt and need help rebuilding their strength. So let's welcome Wes. And last but not least, we have Lucy Davis, who's the executive producer for SUTV News this year and has a background in video and show producing and editing. So let's give a round of applause for Lucy. Thank you all for being here. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
So this semester, we chose concussions as our focus of the student-produced PSAs because it's gotten a lot of attention and is an issue that teens have been faced with. So, on to the work of our talented high school students. The woman guiding this talent is the instructor of the Big Springs class, Angela Schneider. Angela, will you join me up on stage? Let's give her a round of applause. So, Angela, your class has been working on these videos for a while. How do you think they did overall?
I think they did a great job. There were 6 groups of 3 students each working on these concussion PSAs. They did a little bit of research that they could use in the PSAs, and they have a lot of creative minds, so a lot of them are very creative. There's a few things that we can work on, but for the most part, I was pretty happy with it.
Good, good, that's great. Well, we can't wait to see what they all have come up with. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Now, judges, what are you expecting to see today?
Well, you know, this is a topic that affects young people a lot of times in sports, as Wes would tell you. So I'm thinking it should be something that is by the young people for the young people. So.
That's always good. And how about you, Wes?
I'm looking for the information to see what type of research as far as the individuals affected, maybe particular sports, male, female, things of that sort.
All right, sounds good. How about you, Lucy?
I'm just kind of looking for the good storytelling techniques. You know, why am I intrigued to watch this? You know, does it make sense, and is it something I'm going to remember?
Absolutely. These are all the things I'm looking for as well. All right, so let's hear from those who made the PSAs happen. Let's meet the first group who wants to advise their community, keeping them safe instead of sorry. Would you guys like to come up here and talk about your experience? Yes, come on up here. Over here. So what do you think your biggest challenge was while producing this?
Coming up with a funny video that people would watch. A good idea.
Yeah, and we wanted to find a lot of symptoms, so we tried to see which symptoms would be good to include.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Group 1. You can take a seat as we check out what you have created.
Female high school soccer athletes suffer almost 40% more concussions than male.
400,000 concussions occurred in high school athletics during the 2008-2009 school year.
Concussions are the most common traumatic brain injury.
Traumatic brain injuries are the leading cause of death and disability in people's ages 1 to 44.
If you are constantly dizzy.
If you are constantly drowsy.
If you have constant headaches.
If your speech is slurred.
If you have ringing in your ears.
Seek out help.
Talk to your doctor.
Go see the nurse.
Get checked out.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
For a critique of your work, we'll start with Chris. What did you think?
I thought the information was really solid in this one, but I saw a lot of repetition in the shots. It was pretty much the basic background of the white, but it was a little repetitive.
All right. And how about you, Wes? What did you think?
I would say the information content was pretty on point. One of the comments that I liked was at the very end, and it's better to be safe than sorry. And we definitely express that to our student athletes here at the university.
Great, great. And Lucy, how do you think they did?
I think the information was great. For me personally, like, it was just a lot thrown at you, which is fine. And just kind of, as what Chris said, the repetitive background, you know, with the flashing in and out, just kind of took me a second to get used to it.
All right, well, thank you very much, judges. We'll come back to you in a moment. Now let's meet group 2, who took a serious and demonstrational approach showing of different scenarios in their PSA. So join me up here, group 2, and introduce yourselves. Let's give them a round of applause. Make them feel welcome. Well, what was your favorite part about doing this project?
Probably acting it. Well, most of it was contact with him, so.
Got an actor.
Just exploring our creative differences and making this creation that no one person could have thought of alone, you know, it's exciting, really.
Great, that sounds awesome. All right, sounds good. Well, you can take a seat while we check out what you have created.
Luke, and I'm going to talk to you about concussions. Concussions are commonly caused by injuries caused by blows to the head. Blows to the head are common in sports.
We're waiting for you.
And they are also common in falls. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that they don't need to be careful after being recovered after a concussion. Always remember to be aware of your surroundings.
Great, now let's go to the judges for a critique of your work. Lucy, we'll start with you this time. How do you think they did?
I thought there were some definitely funny elements in there, you know, getting hit, you know, it's not funny getting hit on the head, but it was funny the way they acted it out. I thought the shots could have been a little better, especially when they were tackling each other. You couldn't really see it. You know, if the shot would have been just down a little bit lower, you could really see more of the action.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I think it kind of got the message across, but I think definitely just like the quality of the shots could have just been a little better.
Okay, great. And Wes, how about you?
I would say from an information standpoint, it was very good. I like the fact that they not only talked about sports, but they also talked about everyday activities in a sense of the very wet floor, someone falling. You can get a concussion outside of athletics.
It is scary. And Chris, how do you think they did?
Well, like Group 1, I think some of their shots were a little bit repetitive once again. What Lucy said, the framing wasn't quite there. I like that they used a little bit of music in it. However, the volume levels for the speaking parts were a little bit low, and the music was kind of drowning them out a little bit. But overall, not bad.
All right, great. Now, thank you very much, judges. We'll come back to all of you in a moment. Well, there is a look at the first 2 PSAs. Coming up after the break, we'll get to see more of the PSAs from Big Springs High School and announce the big winner of Camera Combat High School Edition, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Camera Combat High School Edition. I'm your host, Emily Larson. Before the break, we took a look at the first 2 PSAs produced by Big Spring High School students. Next up, Group 3 used a brainy approach mimicking a commercial. So please join me up here and introduce yourselves. Let's give them a round of applause. What were some of the challenges that you faced while creating this?
Just getting the shots and stuff and finding time to get them.
It was hard, like, trying not to laugh because we kept hitting him in the head and stuff, so.
The hardest part for me was the acting because it was very physically painful, so.
I hope you didn't end up with a concussion. All right, sounds great. You can take a seat while we look at your PSA.
I'm your brain. We've been through a lot together, but this small fluid layer isn't enough to protect me when we get hit. I've been dribbled inside your head like a ball. I have 2 bruises and my nerve cells are stretched and strained, so now your ability to send and receive messages is disrupted. So get better head protection and avoid mayhem like me.
Okay, great. Now let's go to the judges for a critique of Group 3's work. We'll start with Chris. What did you think?
Well, I'm a man who appreciates great humor, so that one, I love the Mayhem commercial, so I like what they did there. Couple audio issues, though, once again, like Group 2, you know, you got to watch your audio levels with your music. There was the balls bouncing, and but overall, that was probably our best one yet.
Well, well, well. And Wes, what did you think?
I also like the humor as well within the video. I do think the information was good, but it was very hard to differentiate the voice between the bouncing balls, so it was hard to gather that information that they were informing us about.
All right, and Lucy, how did you feel?
Again, like they said, I enjoyed the humor, but as Chris said too, it was kind of hard to hear the message with the audio, so I would have changed that about that.
All right, fair enough. Thank you very much, judges. We will come back to you all in a moment. Now let's meet Group 4, who used painful persistence to get their point across. Would you like to come up on stage and introduce yourselves? Let's give them a round of applause. So can you tell me a little bit about your experiences while creating your PSA?
I learned a lot about concussions, and that's a good thing, and it was just kind of fun to film it.
Good, that's what we look for.
I really wanted to create an idea that was both entertaining and also informative, and that was a challenge.
All right, great. Now, Group 4, you can take a seat as we watch your PSA.
You might have a concussion.
So?
Do you have blurred vision, headache, nausea, fatigue, dizziness?
Yeah, I got some of that.
Have you gone to the doctor yet?
Leave me alone!
You really need to go to the doctor.
All right, judges, we've got you working hard today. What did you think of Group 4? Lucy, we'll start with you this time.
I liked that it focused on one person, you know, kind of followed their story. But I didn't really learn much about a concussion from that standpoint. But I did enjoy like the references to SpongeBob and all those, you know, Jeopardy songs.
Very clever.
Like that, yeah.
All right, and Wes, how did you feel?
I think at the beginning, it was important that they identified some symptoms so that people know what to look for, but I kind of got lost in the rest after the symptoms.
All right. And Chris, what do you think?
I think this one started off pretty strong. They were trying to describe the symptoms. They had a nice storytelling approach to it, but I just didn't feel like it ever fully peaked. And I don't think it ever really grabbed my attention fully and made me understand what concussions are all about and how they are caused.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll talk to you again in a moment. Don't touch that remote. Camera Comeback will be coming back after the break to see the rest of the PSAs and finally announce the winner of Camera Combat High School Edition, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Camera Combat High School Edition. I'm your host, Emily Larson. Okay, 4 PSAs down. The judges are making calls about the students' work, closely watching message production and quality. Let's keep rolling as we meet Group 5, who take a serious situational approach to their PSA. So join me on stage to introduce yourselves. All right, so what did you learn while producing this PSA?
I definitely learned more about concussions because I wasn't really sure of most of the symptoms. I knew a little bit about it, but I definitely got more knowledge out of it.
Great, that's what we look for. All right, thank you very much, Group 5. You can take a seat as we take a look at what you have created.
Yes. Did you see my computer? Oh my gosh. What was that? Where did that come from? I don't know. I just felt. How are you feeling? How many things is it 100 now? My vision is really blurry and my ears are ringing.
Okay, so just this one and then one more to go, judges. You've seen a lot today, so how does this one measure up? Chris, we'll start with you.
Definitely some great information in that one. A little bit of humor as well. But also, overall, I think there are, again, some audio issues. I think there was supposed to be a conversation going on. But overall, information was definitely there.
All right, great. And Wes, how did you feel?
Yeah, I would agree with Chris. I also think that with this particular video, it made it helpful to be able to read some information so that because of the video and audio confusion, you could still get the information.
Great. And then Lucy?
I like how this one showed that not necessarily you lose consciousness every time you have a concussion, and it kind of showed like the dizziness through the camera.
Yeah.
But as Chris and Wes said, you know, the information, some of it was hard to hear, which is great that they had the visual aspect.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, judges. We will get back to you in a moment. Last but certainly not least, you've seen what everyone else has done. Group 6's PSA proves taking a tough blow can affect more than just your head. Group 6, you are either thrilled or to be last or a bit worried. Come on up and introduce yourselves for us. So what were some of the issues that you all faced while producing your PSA?
Some issues were like finding some people who would like to act it out with us and take some blows. But other than that, it was quite fun.
Issues were like editing things, like it was hard like to cut off different points, and we had some sound issues as well.
Probably finding the time to film it and also finding people to film it with us.
All right, great. Group 6, you can have a seat while we watch your PSA.
I have a good feeling we're going to bring the LBJ back to Big Spring.
By the looks of these impact test results, you won't be doing anything but standing on the sidelines tonight. You have all the symptoms: nausea, headache, tiredness, forgetful memory. You have a concussion. No LBJ for the star player this year.
What were you doing that got you a concussion?
Hey, you did an awful job in practice last night. You need to step it up. LBJ's tomorrow.
Don't talk to me like that. I'm the star player of this team.
Good job, Ryan. Because of you, we're going to lose now.
Finally, judges, the last PSA to take care of. These groups have not made it easy. Lucy, we'll start with you.
I definitely liked the flashback kind of to show how that happened. But as they mentioned when they were talking about their problems, there was a lot of audio issues. So I kind of heard part of it, didn't really hear other parts, but overall, you know, got the message.
All right, great. And Wes, how about you?
Again, similar. Definitely like the information visually because it was difficult to hear, but again, making sure that you're informed of how the concussion actually occurred.
All right, great. And then Chris, how about you?
Overall, not bad. I thought the flashback was pretty interesting. We went a little bit back in time. That's something we haven't seen yet today, but overall, not bad. As some audio issues, as they both said, but pretty good job.
All right, great. Judges, we'll get back to you in a second. Don't go away. During the break, our judges will corner and confuse who they think wins this round of camera combat. We'll have the winner coming up. Hello and welcome back to Camera Combat High School Edition. In the last half hour, we've been so impressed by the work of 6 groups of students from Big Springs High School who have created PSAs on concussions. And over the commercial break, our judges have decided on a winner based on content, video format, and video elements. Now, our judges Chris Eckstein, Sports Director for SUTV, Wes Malacone, Director of Sports Medicine, and Lucy Davis, SUTV's news producer, have all deliberated and picked a winner. The envelope, please, Lucy. All right. And the winner of Camera Combat High School Edition is group number 3. Woo! Now let's take a look at that winning piece of work while the group meets me on stage.
I'm your brain. We've been through a lot together, but this small fluid layer isn't enough to protect me when we get hit. I've been dribbled inside your head like a ball. I have 2 bruises and my nerve cells are stretched and strained. So now your ability to send and receive messages is disrupted.
So get better head protection and avoid mayhem like me.
Congratulations. How does it feel to be the winner of Camera Combat?
I was shocked. I mean, like,
Yeah, I was definitely shocked.
I think it's really an honor to win this because we put in a lot of hard work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. So I hope none of you receive any concussions.
Thank you very much. That means a lot. It means a lot. Now, judges, why did you choose this group?
Well, I think we were looking for something that encompassed great editing techniques, great quality of video, but also got a story across. And they really put a face on it. He was the central character, he was the concussion, but overall we saw a lot of great work, and that one was definitely the standout. But we had 6 really strong projects today.
I agree. Well, that's it for Camera Combat High School Edition. On behalf of the entire crew here, we would like to thank our judges, contestants, and a special thanks to Angela Schneider, and to you at home for watching. I'm Emily Larson. Until next time, have a great night.